Welcome to Nintendo Nostalgia, episode 49. I am your host, Ryan Black, and I am joined by my co-host, Jacob Rush, and we are back and we are playing with power. Jacob, how you doing this week?
Ryan, I am freaking excited. Just because tonight is, people probably can tell, it's not a traditional night. We're doing a round table tonight, so it's a bit funner than, I mean, it's always fun when we record, don't get me wrong, but it's just different. We got together, the gang here, and we were playing the game of today. We were playing playing some rounds and just talking as we geared up for tonight. So I'm really excited. This is just, I feel like a kid again, man. Kid on a school night.
Awesome, man. It's been a great week. It's been nice to get back into this game again and to stir up some of those nostalgic memories. So
Yes.
We've got a few guests here this week. Let's introduce. First, let's start with Robbie. Robbie's returning.
Hey, it's good to be back. My second episode with you guys.
Welcome back. And our next guest is Traven.
Yes, I still exist. So
I think you're our first returning. I think isn't there like no other guests before him like after this? This is like his second like go, but this is our first like returning guest like in a row.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
We've never had a back-to-back week guest, and this is his technically second live returning too, because Traven's first time on Nintendo Nostalgia was our E3 coverage right after the event this year. So that's great.
And we have a new challenger.
A new challenger approaches. What?
You've heard us talk about him on the show many, many, many times.
Oh, it's one of those.
And we are super excited.
It's one of those people you guys probably don't think really exist. I always say his name because he's like highly part of my nostalgia with Nintendo, especially the 64 and GameCube days. But Ryan, you do the honors.
We have Brad Hunsinger on the show. Brad, how's it going?
Hey guys. Well, all I can say is it's about flipping time. I love Nintendo growing up, have so many memories, especially with Jacob, and I'm so happy to be here.
Glad to have you, Brad. Glad to have you, Brad. I mean, this is awesome. This is like my whole nostalgia crew has finally come full circle. And like, now if we could just get these guys to dedicate full time to working for the podcast, then life would be awesome. Maybe we could make some money doing this one day. Who knows? But just to have you on, Brad, is so exciting. Robbie, you're part of our nostalgia with the GameCube. Ryan and I, the topic tonight, we went to tournaments together.
Yeah, of course.
For this, so we're thrilled to have you on. And Traven, man, from everyone knows since we were in preschool, we've had this nostalgia memories together, and we've been going strong ever since. So, well, Ryan,
let's get into the news. So, Jacob, I have been hearing some great news about the Super NES Classic stock. They've announced that Target is getting 300 units per store.
Wow.
That is a huge amount. So if you're worried about the stock, like the NES stock you couldn't find anywhere, this is going to be the opposite of that situation. It'll still be hard to find, I think. But they're also saying not only are they doing these large shipments, but they're going to continue doing it through the end of the year and some into 2018.
Wow.
So I think we're all set. If anyone wants to get a hold of that, they can get a hold of that.
Cow. Traven, you going to get one now?
Yeah, I'm probably going to get one now. I mean, I can't see how I can miss it this time.
I don't think scarcity is going to be an issue here.
Yeah.
What about you, Robbie? Are you interested in it?
Definitely. Though, I don't know. One of my favorite games might not be on it.
So you still got to get it. There's tons of good games on there.
I know.
What game is that?
Zombies Ate My Paper. It's like my epitome of Super Nintendo games.
Oh.
Like, yeah. Dude, it might be on the UK version, so I might be the UK version.
It might be. I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah.
Brad, come on, man. I know you don't have a Switch, guys. We got to update here. Brad, I mean, he's a married man. He's more mature than us. I mean, what can I say? I mean, we do a show about Nintendo. Brad's a busy man. He's married. His wife is in college for the 18th year to be a doctor, it feels like. Brad's he knows how to make the monies. So, I mean, Brad's a busy man. So he doesn't have a Switch yet. He has a 3DS that he got from his brother, an old 3DS, not a new 3DS, the original 3DS line. So Brad, he plays along. He likes some Monster Hunter and some Pokemon. But Brad, the SNES Classic is 21 games? Is that correct?
I think it was that little bitty bump from that new game that they're bringing out.
Yeah.
Star Fox 2.
Yeah.
So.
Super Nintendo games, 2 controllers. It's $60.
Dang,
90.
the pressure's on. And
I'm sorry.
Or, sorry, $80.
$80, $85 probably after tax.
Jacob, I feel like every time I see you, the pressure is on.
It is always
You
fun.
are always into all these new games coming out.
Oh.
I don't quite keep with the times, but let's just say this one sounds convincing.
Well, let's just say if you don't get it, you'll probably be receiving one from me for just because I want you to game again so
Yeah.
badly. So
Okay, name a nostalgic game from the SNES days. Is there anyone you played that you just
Super Nintendo.
loved?
I don't know if you had a Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. So,
Okay.
I mean, the only time it would all be new for me, which
It's cool.
no complaints here. That'd be great.
They got-
I would love
Man,
that.
to experience
Have so many.
Super Mario World and Super Metroid and
Star
Link to the
Fox.
Past, like
Yeah, and
Oh.
Donkey Kong Country. Don't forget that, Ryan.
Oh yeah,
I
how
know
could
you
we
don't
forget?
like Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong Country on there. So I think you should get it. I mean, let's face it. If you don't get one, I'm going to make sure you get one.
Yeah.
We're still. I mean, I've almost got out and bought this man a Switch because I wanted to just game with me online so bad. So, because we don't get to see each other every day. He lives on the north side of the city. So, but that's what's so cool about doing our podcast is that we can get together with all of our friends like this and just game and hang out. I love it, guys. I think this is great. Did you hear about like the news with the scalpers? Like how they've been their purchases have been all the online stuff has been limiting them to like one purchase. If you order more than one, they're canceling them all. Which I mean, I would laugh with joy when I heard this. Just over other podcasts and.
It makes it a little difficult for those people who are running shows and podcasts that want to give away free ones and stuff. Like they'll have to actually go out and actively hunt for them because they can't order multiples online to give away to someone. So that's a little bit of a drawback, but in order to fight the scalpers, it's a necessary step, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Hey, you can help me out, Jacob. You can't get more than one.
Oh, trust me,
I've got connections. I can help you out.
Okay.
we got Ryan here. I mean, he signed when Ryan joined the podcast. He signed a contract that he has to stay working at GameStop for the rest of his life. So we always have an inside guy for things. So that's how I got my SNES Classic pre-order. Ryan hooked me up right away. So cool. That's good news. I'm stoked. And the NES Classic is coming back next year.
Yes,
Which-
I think it's summer next year, I want to say.
Wow.
One thing they did mention I thought was really cool is the Super Nintendo controllers or Super Nintendo Classic actually works for the NES and vice versa. So you can use your NES controller on Super Nintendo. I don't know how well that would work with only 2 buttons, but
Probably not very well.
Well, most games, though, like there's a lot of games that it's would work fine with. There's
Yeah.
not many games that use the shoulder buttons and stuff. So
Okay, yeah, good point.
So, I mean, guys, we know that the SNES Classic and NES Classic, this isn't like new news, but the stock is new. And it kind of makes me want to go down a little rabbit hole here for a second. Like, what does this mean for Virtual Console? Like, people keep talking about that. Like, Virtual Consoles come out. Is Nintendo rethinking Virtual Console here? Because, like, if these sell like hotcakes and you get, like, could you see, like, SNES Classic 2.0 and it's got 21 different games on there that were hits, but they're not necessarily in the first edition. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what we want. I'm just saying if Nintendo's making bank money off this, why couldn't they?
I mean, they brought back Star Fox 2 that was never released, so I don't see why they couldn't bring it back as Super NES Mini 2 with different games on it and have an NES Classic with different games on it. I don't see why they couldn't do that.
They could even like give it a different color scheme, like say like the edition 2.
well, there was the top-loading original Nintendo, so I could see them doing a second NES in that model,
Yes.
and then
That'd
having
be
a
cool.
whole new collection of games on it.
Oh, absolutely. That would be really cool. I mean, they always have special editions for their consoles, like you see with the Joy-Cons, like, and like, remember Atomic Purple for the 64? Like,
The best.
The best.
they could do that same concept with the NES Classic and SNES Classic and ultimately, let's be honest, probably a 64 classic one day if the rumors are true. So
I'm really hoping for that GameCube one.
yeah, one
I mean,
day.
mini GameCube.
Oh, mini GameCube. The system wasn't small enough. But, so that's just a thought I had. But we don't have to go too much in deep in that. I want to talk about another topic that is, it's quite disturbing to me. It's frustrating to me because everyone knows, if you listen to the show, we started the Metroid Initiative, and that's basically where we bought ourselves a copy and we bought someone else a copy, and we're encouraging all of our listeners to do that. And I'm not done buying other copies. I'm going to state it right now. I've already bought. We've all kind of technically bought a second copy for a friend of ours. We all pitched in for one, and I bought another friend of mine a copy. But, I really want this game to sell well. So I'm going to buy another copy probably for somebody else. But I am worried. Like Japan, I know it has 30,000 copies sold. And that is it.
Well, historically, Metroid hasn't sold well.
Right.
It's done better overseas. So,
but why doesn't it sell well in Japan? I don't get it. Like they make anime, it's not like they're shy to space and stuff. Like they got a lot of big stuff over there. Why does Metroid not sell in Japan?
It's kind of the idea, I guess, if you're bringing up the anime point. It's like what Saturday morning cartoons are for us. Like we may want to go back and revisit those things, but the other adults out there that aren't nerds and what have you could go their whole lives without watching another Saturday morning cartoon because they're not kids anymore, and that's kid stuff. And that really anime and stuff like that comes across as like kid stuff in some Japanese mindsets. Now there's the otaku, of course, many out there. From what I've come to understand, that may be a factor. Like Metroid's kind of like the old stuff, and they really want the new Nintendo stuff that's all cute, kawaii, and with arms and.
I'm sorry, that is dumb.
Well, there's a second thing that's going into this too. Is what is the hot system right now? And that is the Switch.
True.
It is portable. It's
yes.
like a 3DS.
And a lot of people are like, well, they're going to be releasing 2 Metroid games, and I only have a set amount of income. I'm probably going to get the one for the Switch and not necessarily the one for the older system. Even though Nintendo said they're going to support it, even though it can be a little bit concerning, I think it's going to sell okay. But I really think that the Metroid for the Switch is going to be the blowout success that we hope for Metroid.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be, but
this is also a sequel, or this is a remake of a sequel, and so people kind of know the story, and so they don't necessarily need to jump into it. Like, oh well, I've played the basic story, I get the gist of it, so why would I need to pick it up again? I mean, that's another factor there. Now, if they were to come out with something brand new story, like Metroid 5 instead of Falling After Fusion, like that one would probably sell a lot better. But
so does this mean? Let me ask you this: if Metroid: Samus Returns doesn't break records for Metroid games, do they stop making 2D Metroid for a long time again?
I hope that's not the case. I think they should take another stab at it with a continuation of the story, but also they're kind of
Switch.
But they're also kind of hinging the success of this game, which we're really pushing with the Metroid Initiative. But I don't know. I hope this does well, and I hope that the U.S. numbers show some better life. I know just walking into GameStop and seeing people watching gameplay up on the TV, like when they're stopping in to pick up, their NBA or whatever, like that game looks really cool. I've never played a Metroid game. Man, I totally want to play that if I had a 3DS. I was like, cool. There's some interest out there. It looks cool. Yeah. There's some appeal, but
that's just good news. I know that in the UK, it was up at number 3 last week, I believe it was. So, I mean, it's selling decently well. And it outsold Pokemon Gold and Silver relaunch, which I know it's a relaunch of an old game on the eShop, but it's Pokemon, and it's nostalgic Pokemon, which sell like gangbusters. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty impressive that it outsold them last week. And I think that was in America. It outsold Pokemon Gold and Silver. So, I mean, it's not like it's not selling. I just don't know the exact numbers. And I just kind of get worried because SteamWorld Dig 2, I've been hearing that just came out for Nintendo Switch. It's like a Metroidvania style. And I've heard people say that wow, this is better than Metroid. And I haven't played the game, so I can't say it is or isn't. But I don't want it to be because I don't want to hurt the sales of Metroid. So that's my thoughts on it all. I know I don't want to go too deep into a rabbit hole here. We're trying to keep our news section a little shorter because it was long last week, dude. But
I think that pretty much wraps up then.
Yeah.
Let's go over quickly what we've been playing. Let's start with Brad. What have you been playing lately?
Oh man, so there are a couple games that are kind of big for me right now. A little off top, different from probably what some of the other guys have been playing. My younger brother got me into Monster Hunter. Play some old school games. My brother's a little bit crushed that the new one is leaving Nintendo. He's very upset, and I am too. But we've been going back and playing through 3 Ultimate again. And that game is so stinking hard. Especially when you get to the end, when it's really meant to be played with 4 players. There's only 2 of us. Sometimes if I want to try and get a little farther, it's just one of me trying to operate 4. And that's been kicking my butt. But that's how I love to play Monster Hunter. Just barely scraping by, just getting through. Other than that, I'm a huge fan of some of the mobile games. Fire Emblem through and through. So Fire Emblem Heroes has been a huge hit for me.
Oh, man.
I love the Fire Emblem franchise.
I know. Unfortunately, I don't, but I do. Well, good. I mean, at least you're still gaming, Brad. You know, you're playing Nintendo games on your phone. That's
Of course.
If there's anything, I'm glad Nintendo went mobile, so Brad can still play some Nintendo games on his cell phone. So that's pretty cool. Traven, man, what's new, man? You were playing different Monster Hunters last week.
Monster Hunter Stories?
Yes.
Yeah, I've also been playing Pokken Tournament DX. That just came out.
What happened to Metroid? You're going to be playing it.
What the heck?
That's still on the list.
Wait, you're playing Pokemon, a game you already played, over Metroid.
Yeah, it's gotten characters.
Oh my goodness.
I got to give him that, though. I mean,
I just wanted to test it out.
The
Run around
CGI?
with a couple characters and stuff like that. I'm probably going to start Metroid 2 this week. So.
Okay. Good. Thank goodness. Woo! You can stay on the show.
And of course, I've been playing mobile games as well.
Yeah.
So I've been playing the Fire Emblem Heroes. One of my favorite mobile games is still Pokemon Duel.
Okay. Yeah, I have that on my phone.
I don't know how many people play that.
I just do Pokemon Go these days.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to fall out of love with Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I fell in love with it like after the first month. Robbie, what have you been gaming, man?
So last time I was on, I was telling you guys how I was going through Emerald again.
Yes.
So now I've been going through Fire Red again.
Okay.
And I'm so close. I have almost every single original Pokemon on there except for a few of the exclusives from Leaf Green. So that's been taking up most of my time is just going through. And I'm going to try to get all of those 368, I believe, in 3rd generation there was.
Mhm.
So that's been taking the majority of my time. I did get to play Sonic Mania, which was really, really fun. I played some Splatoon 2. The motion controls were interesting. Like I did not get a grasp on them, but I did play the demo for Pokken Tournament for the Switch, and that was really fun. It was a marked improvement over the
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I may have to revisit it. I didn't really dive too much into the Wii version. It didn't entice me, so I don't know. But cool. I'm glad you're playing some Switch games, and you don't have a Switch yet, right?
No, Ryan, we were playing together, so yeah.
Have to get Ryan to hook you up, man. He works for GameStop there. Christmas around the corner, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I guess for me, I'm really busy because I work. I have had a lot of stuff going on with my newer job, and I actually have to go out of town to Orlando, Florida this Thursday. I'll be out from Thursday to Saturday. So I've been saving stuff. I've been playing Mario Rabbids still. I beat the story mode finally this past week. Phenomenal story mode, funny game. Final boss had some surprises there. It was really cool to get there. The game is just so funny. Seriously, guys, you got to pick it up and read the dialogue from like Baby Bowser and what he says to Mario. Like, it is just so freaking funny. I love it, and I love the music. You guys know all this, but So I'm saving like a lot of the extra stuff. I've done a lot of extra stuff already, but I still have a lot more to do. I've been saving for like my flight and my trip because there's gonna be there's gonna be downtime at like back at our place that we stay and stuff. And I'm just gonna play my Switch there and everything. So been saving that. Yeah, that's really it though. That's all I've been playing. You guys know I'm not getting Metroid until my birthday, late October. So my birthday is October 22nd, but I should be receiving it around October 21st, a little before. So should be good. Ryan,
If I can remember the game, I got to get it to you before I leave on my trip.
yes, please. I might track you down on your trip if you haven't. I don't know if I can take it that long.
Go home, bust down my door.
Oh, just bust in, break in.
I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I've been addicted to that game. I wish there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on Switch or even 3DS that isn't bad like the Carnival game that they came out with. Anyway, that's another story. I've been playing Octopath Traveler demo. I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't played with Ulrich yet. I started with Primrose, and man, is that story heavy. That is a deep, it's rough.
Yeah.
The material in that, it's very mature, and it's tough to get through. Like, just to realize the situation this character's in, and then, having friends. And I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's really... It's great. It's a beautiful, beautiful game, and so I'm really enjoying playing through that. I'm ready to fire up Ulrich, but I have been constantly distracted by Metroid. I did beat it. I got through on normal. I played it all the way through, got 100%. And then now I restarted on normal and trying to do a speed run. Once I've done that, then I'm going to go into the harder modes. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to just cave and do the Fusion Suit mode because I like Metroid Fusion a lot. So being in the Fusion Suit running around would be pretty cool. I've heard it's got a different difficulty than just like a regular hard mode. So I'm kind of curious to see what that is. I've not seen any spoilers or anything, but that's one thing I've also liked. I haven't seen any spoilers whatsoever for a lot of Nintendo games. Like, I haven't seen any spoilers for Splatoon, and I haven't seen any spoilers for this new Metroid. Like, there's not a lot out there, and I'm really glad that people are keeping a lid on it and being respectful of those who haven't gotten through it yet. So I'm imagining that after Christmas, all bets are off. It'll be everywhere. But
now, if we could only get a Dual Transit 2 for the Switch, that
yes.
would be amazing. Like,
How many hours do we put into Dual Transit?
oh, I don't. What was like?
It's like 500, 600
Yeah,
or
it
something
was
like that.
about around 540
Between the
hours.
two of us just
yeah.
stayed up late at night playing it.
100% completion. Like, boom. Like,
Every card, everything.
yeah, that's how you do it.
All right. Well, I think that brings us into our news topic for the week. And
About
are we
time.
so excited? But first, before we get into our topic, we have some voicemails to play.
That is correct. We do. And the voicemail, actually, I'm surprised for how much everyone says they love this game. We did get a variety of phone calls, and it saddened me, but yeah.
I guess our core people are right around the table here, but we didn't hear anyone outside of Indiana.
Right. Well, and even with that, we have you guys know our third part-time, because he comes on the show pretty regularly, co-host Tom was supposed to be here tonight, but man, the man's swamped. He's a busy guy. So he decided to join us today through voicemail, and he didn't leave just one, but he left 4 voicemails. So let's hear what old man Tom has to say, okay? Let me pull it up here, and here we go.
Hey guys, it's Tom. Heard you guys were talking about my baby, Super Smash Brothers Melee, for the GameCube, and I thought I'd call in and tell you guys a couple stories I had about that. Melee is one of my favorite games, like, of all time, just the Smash Brothers series in general. I love it so much. But I remember I was first in line to get a GameCube out of Walmart here in the year 2001. All right, I had worked all summer and got my money up there, and it was time to cash in for the for the GameCube. Now, Smash Brothers Melee wasn't out immediately for the GameCube, but I remember waiting in line for such a long time with my buddy Blake. We would tag in and out so we could stretch our legs and do some things. And at the electronics area, they had the GameCube demo set up, and they just had that intro video from Smash Brothers on loop. And it would just go over and over. And I can't tell you how many times I watched the intro video for Smash Brothers Melee, because it's a beautiful masterpiece. And watch that a billion times. I'll still throw it on every once in a while just to watch it. It's so great. And then also I remember just a lot of time with my brother, believe it or not. A lot of my friendship with my brother was around Smash Brothers Melee. We would sink hours and hours and hours and hours into playing Smash Brothers Melee against each other. Now I'm that guy. I'm a Fox main. All right, no items, Final Destination, Fox only. Let's do this. I'm that guy, and I enjoy Fox, and he's a Mario main, so I got that matchup down pretty good. So if any of you guys want to step to my Fox, just let me know. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, Tom. Well, thank you for the call. Let's not wasting time. We got some more phone calls. I wonder who they could be.
Hey guys, it's Tom again. That's right, 2 for this week, 2 for you guys. I actually wanted to get something pretty big off my chest. The last call was like, the nostalgia, and man, I love Melee, and boy, is it great. But let me weigh in on something a little closer to my heart, and that's the competition that is bred in Smash Brothers Melee. I mentioned I play a lot with my brother growing up, and that was great. But man, I really enjoyed having tournaments with my friends. I really enjoyed doing that kind of thing. Ryan probably remembers quite a few. We had this fundraiser called Midnight Madness where we did some Smash Brothers Melee tournaments. And man, that was a lot of fun. I originally was a Link guy, but then I switched to Fox, and I won me a tournament. But you know what? As most of you probably know, I didn't find out till about 8 years ago that I've been playing Smash Brothers Melee wrong my whole life. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to talk about this on here, but I think maybe it might be a fun topic of discussion. But the wave dashing and all the fun little tricks you could do with the controller, and the meta, tier characters of, Fox, Falco, Marth, Jigglypuff, like they're like the only ones you can use any good, because they can do all those crazy tricks. I just wanted to weigh in on that real quick and let you know that I'm okay with it. I kind of wish more characters could have, are included with that. And a lot of people don't count that as playing Smash Brothers if you play that way. But you know what? I count it. And if you have never watched competitive Smash Brothers Melee, you're missing out because it's insane. It's really, really insane. So anyway, I just wanted to weigh in on that and let you guys know that if you're interested in competitive Smash, you can check out my Facebook page, World Championship Smash. Me and my buddies, a few years back, we got together and did a whole bunch of wrestling type stuff. So anyway, that's World Championship Smash. Check it out on Facebook. Give it a like. We're dormant right now, but hey, we're coming back. All right, so stay tuned. Anyway, see you guys. Bye.
Wow, two calls in one episode. How blessed could we be, Ryan?
But wait.
A third call. I wonder who it could be.
Okay, yeah, it's me again, Tom. Yeah, Tom again. Real quick, I just wanted to say, how useless is Pichu? I mean, really, think about all the characters they could have picked from all of Nintendo, and they went with Pichu, who hurts himself when he attacks. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. I just wanted to get that off my chest and let you know that Pichu is the worst Smash Brothers character ever, 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 ever. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you. Bye.
Tom, on that note, I think the only thing that could be worse is if they introduced a Smash Brothers character that did all of the tripping from Brawl, but no other character would do that.
I think I can concur. Pichu was not a good character. I mean, he was there basically because that was the time Johto had just taken off, and he was the cute baby version of Pikachu. So,
I will chime in though. I played with some really good Smash people, and sometimes it's a necessary handicap for them. I will say that.
Yeah, a handicap is a great That's used for Pichu.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, guys, we have one more phone call. So I wonder if it's someone different than Tom or not.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm not telling him right now. Okay, guys, listen. I know right now you're thinking you can beat me. All right, talking about all this Smash Brothers, you think you can beat me in Melee? I'm just saying, challenge me. That's all I'm saying is challenge me. All right, step up. You think old Tom hasn't got any more? I can't really compete with any of you young guns. But let me tell you right now, I got what it takes. Just step up. Tell me what.
Okay.
Tom, you got to actually show up.
Yeah. We were all playing Smash Brothers Melee right before this, so wow, Tom, thank you for the phone calls. That makes up for not having any other phone calls right there. So, Tom, you've been heard. So you can just be quiet now. No more phone calls in the middle of the show or anything like that. Guys, let's talk about how much we can beat Tom at Melee, and let's dive into this game. So, for the Nintendo GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee came out December 3rd, 2001 in America. First was released in November 21st, 2001 for Japan. Then it wasn't released until May, until 2002 for Europe and Australia. Guys, that's painful. I'm not gonna lie, that is painful to know that like we had the game and then 6 or 7 months later, so the other countries want to get it. So we're blessed to be in America. I will say that because we get games early.
So even more blessed are the Japanese who get it,
Yeah, well, they made
Instantly.
they made the thing. So, well, Ryan, this is your topic of the week, man. Why don't you kick us off? What do you have for us here?
What do I have for us? Only the greatest fighting game ever made.
I can agree with that.
What do you think, guys? You think it's the greatest fighting game ever made?
Soul Calibur 2 is like 3D fighters. Well, technically, Smash is a hybrid 2D, 3D fighter, but I would say it's up there. It's definitely top 5. Like Melee is probably top 5, especially on a competitive aspect because it just looks beautiful. So yeah.
Okay.
I could say it has the most nostalgia of any fighting game out
definitely.
there by far for me. I mean, it had its own tagline between my friends and I. It's like, you want to smash? Let's smash.
Yeah,
Smash.
absolutely.
Settle it and smash.
I can concur with that, man.
Oh, my earliest memories of the game was reading. I think I was reading a Nintendo Power or something, and they were going. I was trying not to look too much at the game because I didn't want any spoilers, but like, it was Nintendo Power, man. And I was like, they were talking about how Mario's like the stitching on his like jeans could be seen, and like how detailed that was. And, like, I was like getting so excited over like jeans. I don't know.
Right.
I knew they had me from there on out. But I played Smash 64, and it was slow, but I enjoyed it. Even then, I thought like I can't imagine this game being any faster, and like this I can't even imagine. Like I tried to imagine like what a fighting game would be other than Smash Brothers 64, and nothing. Like I'd watch videos after seeing the stitching and stuff, and like I try to figure out like this is a completely different game. I have no idea what this is going to feel like, and I just know like I had such intense desire to play this game. Like I would like shout about it all the time. Like people like, this is an awesome game. Like read this article. I think I showed this Nintendo Power article to Jacob a couple times, and like we just like gushed over it.
Yeah. I want to hear everyone's first memories with the game, but I mean, I want to go first because the GameCube was really a special time for me, and I'll tell you my first experience. I had a small taste of it at Ryan's house. We went over to Ryan's family, always threw on the Super Bowl party. So I was always excited to go to Ryan's because at this time, technology wasn't what it was today. And Ryan and I we got to hang out, but it was few and far in between when we did. This was getting ready and to go into the season where Ryan and I could actually like hang out a lot, right in our my preteen years. Ryan's a few years older than me, so he was already a teenager. But I'd go to his house for New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Eve, sorry, Super Bowl party. And he's in his bedroom. He's got his cousins in there, and they're all playing Smash Bros. Melee. And they're on the level where Kraid appears. And Kraid, he comes up and he hits the block and it spins. Kraid from Metroid. And I was in amazement. Like, I knew that the game existed because I had seen commercials for the GameCube. Remember, it was like this kid in the mall, and he would stand in front of this giant glass box, and there was a samurai inside the box. And then it would show this quick reel of just like footage from Smash Bros. And Melee. And I mean, and it literally just blew my freaking mind because I think the biggest fact, this reel showed Ridley, like Samus was fighting Ridley. We never get to play as Ridley. Ridley, I think, is even in the game, but besides the trophy.
Yeah.
But but that intro was just something we never seen on the 64. And to me, I think the biggest draw was the fact that we could finally play as Bowser. Like I never in my mind imagined that I could play as King Bowser. He was always a villain. In my mind, we always played as the heroes. And at this time, besides Mario Kart, you never really got to play as a bad guy. And I thought that was so cool because Bowser, to me, was the biggest and the baddest villain that I knew at that time in my life, for me personally. So I thought it was awesome and insane when I saw Ryan playing this game. Then, speed it up. I was so obsessed with this game because I didn't have a GameCube right away. I didn't have a GameCube when this first came out. So I didn't get my GameCube like a year later. I had saved up my own money for it. But my mom bought me just the player's guide to the game. And I remember taking the player's guide to school, and I would just look at the pictures. And I'd read everything about every character in it that I knew of and the levels. And I didn't have a GameCube yet, but this is what I would do. I was that obsessed. I'd look at it on the school bus. I probably was looking at it when the teacher was teaching, and probably why I had terrible grades in school, elementary school. And then I even got a Nintendo Power that I bought from the store. I specifically remember this one. I think I got the Nintendo Power actually before the Player's Guide. I got Player's Guide just a little bit later. But I remember going to Walmart on East Washington Street with my dad, and we went inside the Walmart. I don't know why we were there, but I ended up getting the Nintendo Power issue that covered Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I read it through and through, but we went straight over to Pizza Hut. It's Papa John's. It was adjacent from the Walmart there. We ordered Papa John's, and I remember sitting there in the chair waiting for the pizza to finish so we could take it home. And I was glued to this Nintendo Power. And I didn't read anything really in it but the Smash Bros. Covers because that's all I cared about. So that was my first experiences with the game. But dude, when I got the game, it was the first game I bought with the GameCube. We were playing it before this all started. That disc that we were playing on, guys, that GameCube and those controllers are not my original GameCube. I regrettably admit that I had sold it off in my teenage years when scrapping for money so you could get newer games. And I regret it to this day because the GameCube is one of my favorite systems. And but the only thing I have left to this day from my GameCube days as my original one is that Melee disc in the box, and it looks fine. Like, it's not tore up. It's in great condition. The disc isn't scratched up. That is my original GameCube game that I ever bought. The very first one with my own money. So this means a lot to me. I don't ever want to part with that. And as soon as I got my GameCube, you know who I called up? I didn't call up Traven. He lives in Plainfield. Mom was on Ryan at the Plainfield. Ryan, I didn't call you. You live on the south side. You're too far. Robbie, I didn't know you yet, so we didn't call you. I called our first-time guest, Brad Hunzinger. I said, Brad, dude, I got a GameCube. And Brad freaked out. And this was cool to me because Brad always had, for his birthdays, he'd get like $300 somehow for his birthday. So Brad would always get like the latest Nintendo stuff. But I finally had something that Brad didn't have yet, and I got a GameCube. And he's like, dude, you got to come over. So he invited me over, and I went straight to his house after playing it on my TV in my bedroom all day because it was summer break. I got this over summer break. Summer break had just started from school. And I went straight to Brad's house, and, dude, you and I and your brothers played this all freaking night in your room, and that is the definition of Nintendo nostalgia right there, is memories like that I have. I know that's a bit winded, but I have a lot of love for Melee, and that's my first experience with this. So, next.
So, with me, I was a 64 Smash player. Like, I mained Kirby. Like, I played so many hours with a friend that Ryan knows, Blake. And me and him used to just go back and forth all the time. So when he got Melee, we're like, awesome. Like, like I remember seeing the promotions like you guys and seeing the stitching like you mentioned on Mario. I'm like, this is what the GameCube could do. Because this was around the time where the rumors of the GameCube not being powerful enough to handle games and stuff of this generation came around. And this was kind of the game that kind of was like, this was before Resident Evil 4, so the GameCube didn't have a game to actually push the graphical limits.
Right.
And this was the first one to kind of do that. And so, of course, like, I was just blown away. We went from polygons to textured, like, looking good, like 3D models. And so, by far, one of my favorite just improvements to a game. Like, that was how to make a sequel.
Well, heck, I mean, I'm not to cut you off, but I think this was the first time Smash Bros. Actually got, like, the royal treatment to be made. Because if you remember, the first Smash Bros., like, they didn't even think that was going to sell.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I got that. They were polygons originally.
Yeah, and, like, it was, I mean, people complained about the 64 version because Link didn't look as good as he did in, Ocarina of Time and stuff.
Right.
And, like, Mario didn't look as good as he did. Yeah, no one looks as good as they did from their own games. But it was just that concept. No one even, like, I remember just seeing on the shelf, like, I'm just like, what is this? And, like, I was like, and it just blew my mind that all these characters could be in one game. And so when Melee came out, and there were so many more, like, oh my gosh, especially with, like, the reason why we have Fire Emblem is because of Marth and Roy in Melee. Like, they basically, that was their introduction to a Western audience, and it was such a good introduction. They were able to bring the games over here. Well, technically, like,
kind of saved the franchise.
Yeah, especially in the States. Like, especially in the States, it definitely did save the franchise. Now, it wasn't. Now, the games may have come over in other ways and stuff, but that's what really put it in the public mind.
Right.
And so, I remember going as a Kirby main in '64 and playing Melee, and me and my friend, like, oh my gosh, there's that. We played 24 hours straight to get the unlock. Like, we didn't do what everyone else did, just left out. No, we played 24 hours straight. We bought snacks, we had pop, like, we played all night. And I remember just getting so tired, but we were just like, well, we kept on it, and, like, we got a second win and a third win. And I was playing Pichu. Like, and this was like a round release, so, like, yes, people say Pichu's bad. Kirby is worse than Pichu.
Tom already settled that.
Yeah. I still think Pichu has a leg up on Kirby because Pichu's faster, and he's, like, I have nostalgic memories playing Pichu because it was fun. The challenge is fun playing Pichu, especially against someone high tier and stuff. So, yeah, so that was definitely my one of my first memories. It's just sitting there playing for just hours and hours on it. I eventually ended up switching over and becoming a Marth main because my friend Blake, he was a Falco main, and that ended up becoming, like, kind of a rivalry with Ryan, with him being a Fox main.
Yeah.
And so, and then so me and him, that's how we kind of got introduced, is we were playing this game, and then we went into Game Crazy, and that's how we kind of all, met and stuff.
I admire your dedication.
You
You did it the right way. Let me just clear that up. You did it the right way.
You did. Traven, man, what's your first experience with Melee? Because, I mean, with you and I, like, this is around a time like we started to have like a little bit of separation because of the long distance and everything. So I don't have any Melee memories with you that I can recall unless I'm mistaken. We hung out when the GameCube first got launched, but Melee wasn't out when it first, it wasn't right at launch. So what is it for you?
Well, I remember when Melee came out, it came out towards the beginning of the GameCube life.
Yeah.
That was something I really liked. And I was actually kind of hoping every Smash Brothers game would do that because it gave the console a pretty strong start.
Yes.
I played most of the time with my brother and my dad. We played together. My favorite stage was always the Kraid one because the other two would just fall off repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I always remember out of all the characters, Marth and Roy, when I first unlocked them, I thought they were the oddest characters in the game. They were so out of place. And, when compared to everyone else, like Mario and Pikachu and Samus, they just felt so weird compared to all the other ones. And it didn't help that they didn't say a single word of English.
That's very true. So what introduced you to Melee? How did you know it was even coming out? Did you just see it at the store? Or did you see the commercials?
Well, I think I actually had subscribed to Nintendo Power before.
Okay, yeah.
I actually had a subscription, I think. So, yeah, I heard all about it from there, and it was one of those GameCube games that you picked up, when you got your GameCube.
Wow. Ryan? You should have him for last.
Oh, man.
I pretty much covered it with the stitching thing.
Yeah.
So,
You
have you gone?
Okay, I have not gone yet.
Okay,
And I will just say, Jacob, this is a very tough question for me.
Okay.
Mainly because Smash has been the one game that I've continually picked up year after year.
Yeah.
I have continually played it so much. I'm never learning it. It's just so natural to me. I mean, there are years going by where I play it just about every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
through college, it was like before dinner. Guess what time? You want to smash? You want to smash? I mean, it's amazing I didn't get better at the game for how much I played it. Let's just say that. But I'd say way back, I mean, I remember definitely going over, playing with you. I mean, this was the game you just played with all your friends.
Yeah.
We played it so much. This is the only game that my mom had to buy us 2 copies because I would take it over to friends and my brothers would be left without it.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, this is the one game I couldn't live without.
That's awesome. Wow. I mean, it's clearly we're not the only ones. The game is one of the best selling Smash Bros. Games of all time, so if not, it's one of them. So, Ryan, I don't want to hijack your show here. I know it's your topic. So, what do you got for me?
Well, I wanted to move the conversation into the competitive side of things, the tournaments, the memories that we have with just, I don't know, Craven, did you come into this playing any tournaments or playing competitively or anything like that?
No, I never really did any tournaments, but I did do a lot of research on competitive play.
Okay.
And I gotta say the competitive play is probably my least favorite part about Smash.
Okay.
So my issue with Melee is when it first started out, it was fun. You just smashing with your friends, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first day I learned about wave dashing. It was in Nintendo Power. It was one of the featured articles about, all these advanced Smash techniques. I remember learning about it, and I thought, that's just kind of a neat party trick. It's a little glitch. But then it just keeps on going. Like, people keep discovering new techniques, and they're just glitches. They keep on saying they're advanced techniques, but they were never intended to be in the game. They're glitches, and the game got more and more where it looked less like Smash, and it looked more like a bunch of people just flying around.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, kind of. And I don't really have any issue with glitches, but I mean, the fact that the entire game was defined by who knew the most glitches, who exploited the most glitches, it really turned me off to the competitive scene.
That's a great point. I can concur with that.
Well, it's also kind of a testament, though, to the game because not since I would say Street Fighter 2 Turbo would be a game that has been played to the extent of discovering. People still discover new things in Melee because of just how much it's gone into, and just it's one of those things of, are we too smart for video games? I have a friend who says that. Who's like, are we too smart for video games? Because we naturally, our minds just want to understand things, and we'll kind of like tear them down until we understand like every single little thing.
Yeah.
And that's where these things where you have to like learn 30 different things just to be in the competitive scene of a game, because it's been tore down and analyzed and just gone through for so many years that it has a barrier to entry.
That's interesting. Tournament-wise, for me, I have some fun, memories with that. I remember with Tom mentioned it in his phone call, I went to Midnight Madness. It was at Ryan's school. Tom and Ryan went to the same. They went to a small private Christian school, and I remember going there and like I was nervous. Like I knew we were going to have video game tournaments, and this was the first time I ever was like going to have to like test my mettle against people I didn't know that weren't just my friends. And I remember the first tournament I ever did was at his school, and it was actually against Tom's younger brother. And we went toe to toe, and he was Mario and I was Link. And it literally went down to the wire. And I kid you not, it happened to where we hit each other and we both went flying. And like, they went, game, you didn't know because neither character's on the screen. And Tom's little brother died right before me. So I like barely won. It was literally like half a second. And like, I didn't win the tournament. I ended up, I think, losing the next round. But that rush and that nervousness that I felt with a video game, I think that was the first time I ever felt like that. It wasn't like I felt that way when I played sports. I wrestled and played football and stuff, but never with the video game. And that was the first time I ever experienced that. And it was scary, but it felt so good when it was Link holding up the Master Sword at the end there and said I won. And Tom's little brother was pretty upset, I remember. But it was all fun, really fun and games there. And a couple other tournaments, I entered another one at Game Crazy with Ryan, and Robbie was there. And I lost in the first round here because it was like it was like all four, every man for themselves. And it really sucked because I came down to it was me and some other guy, but I saw this guy the whole time. I kept trying to go after him, but he was Pikachu, and he just kept hiding. I think it's cowardly, personally. Some people might think it's strategy. I think it's coward. He hid off and let everyone else just keep fighting each other. And then he comes in when, I've already lost like 2 or 3 lives, and, I just wasn't able to take him out. He had to do that full strength. So but then the second tournament, and I think it was probably the last real like tournament I ever did for Melee, was against Ryan at Game Crazy. We both made it to the final round, and this was like 1-versus-1 matches. And dude, like, I don't really believe I ever could really match up to Ryan, but this is like this was the time when young Jacob became a man, because Ryan, because he's older than me, and I was always a couple years ahead of me, and I always looked up to Ryan in this game, and I still do. But this was like the first time I got to go toe to toe, where like the master beats the sensei. The grasshopper beats the sensei, something like that, Basically, I beat Ryan. We were on his home turf. He was Star Fox, and I was Link. Link is my boy in Melee, and we were on his home turf we were on the Great Fox. We were in Corneria. That's the level was Corneria, and it just came down to the wire again, similar to the match with Tom's younger brother, and I ended up beating Ryan, and I remember I got a crappy prize afterwards. Sucked because sometimes the tournament prizes, like people get like a brand new game of their choice or store credit. This time they weren't giving that out. I got like some poster. I got a calendar of some video game that I didn't play. But hey, I beat Ryan in front of all these people, and that's what the trophy was to me. So that's my tournament experience. Now with Traven, I actually agree. I don't really care too much for the competitive scene today. Like maybe it's because I don't get to game nearly as much as I could back in these days. Like I used to train when I knew I had a tournament coming up. I would train against all 9 characters, computers, all on one team versus me, and that's how I practice. And I don't do that anymore. I don't have time to do that. So like for the Wii U, Smash 4, like I would get killed by people all the time. I just was not. I don't know if that's part of why I don't enjoy it. Maybe I know that I have a lot of reasons why I don't really enjoy Smash 4 very much, but I'm not a huge fan of the competitive scene. And truth be told, it's because I have a life outside of gaming. I can't just sit at home and practice anymore like I used to with the Melee days. I used to be very good on Melee, and like I'm just being honest there. So that's how I feel about the tournament scene. That's my memories of the tournament scene.
Before I shed some light on the whole Jacob winning that tournament, I'm going to turn it over to someone who has a little bit more experience with some of the competitive scene and current state, some of it with the Project M. I'm going to turn it over to Brad.
Right. So, by no means an expert. I've only played in one Smash tournament, and it was with Jacob and Ryan, and I'm pretty sure Ryan crushed me with box. I mean, absolutely destroyed me. I didn't see what was coming.
Probably the one I beat Ryan in, I think, actually.
Yep, I think it was that very one. But you know what? I had a blast doing it, and I didn't come in last. I beat a couple people out.
Yeah.
But I will say,
Coming back.
when it does come to some of the competitive stuff, I had some friends who really got into it. By no means could they do like the wave dashing quite as well as some of the others, but I knew some people that could do it, and it was really technical.
Yeah.
You ever are curious, just Google or YouTube, whatever, to see like what a Smash tournament looks like with the control inputs. It's crazy. They fill up the screen how many control inputs they have to do. But with all that, I mean, I love learning new things. Like I said, I could not get away from this game. I still have to come back to it and play to it every now and then. Learning some things, never got wave dashing figured out, but I recently picked up learning how to dunk people. And I don't know if you guys ever did that. There are really only certain characters that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always the same move with some characters. Like, for instance, Mario in the air. His over A, if you do it off the side, it's pretty much an instant KO if you knock him down. And it feels so good when you get that.
OP, man, yeah.
But it's just a little highlight to some of the characters. And it adds a little bit more complexity to what was really kind of a simple game to start out with. You can dive much deeper into it, and they continue to make the games even more complex. Ryan hinted at like Super Smash Bros. In where people took it on themselves to try and improve the game, add a little bit more of that competitive twist, and I like that about Smash.
So I was actually the one that invited Brad to come to that tournament and play in that, and I was really impressed by how, like, I'd never really played much Smash with Brad, and I heard, oh, you play Smash? Come join us. And I was really surprised by how good he was with Marth at the time. Like, I was just like, man, it was an intense match. It really was.
It's actually one of the first times I think you and Brad ever really met and hung out. You know?
I think so. Yeah, that might have been like one of our first like major interactions. Like we maybe see each other in passing at your house, maybe, but that was about it. So it was weird how like I kind of reached out to you, come along. Like I think I really just wanted to get to know you and meet you, you know. And that didn't happen until much later with Traven, but yeah, it was really cool to to have you to that tournament and get to experience that scene because, man, it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad. I was like trying to get everybody into that because like Smash was my passion.
Yeah,
So,
no. And then I beat you at your own passion in front of everybody.
hold on.
All right, Jake.
So in Smash Brothers Melee, I'm my own worst enemy. I pick Fox, and what does Fox do spectacularly?
Kills himself off the
Shadow
edge.
Fox off the edge of the map.
Yes, he does.
So in that match when I was fighting you, I died not once, but twice by Shadow Foxing off the edge. So you clearly had the competitive advantage there.
I did.
However, it did come down to the last life, and we were both in highest percentage. So I did recover a little bit there, but you definitely deserved that win.
Yes, thank you. I still have the belt hanging in my room to this day. You know, it's something I'm proud of. I retired on top. That's why I don't do any more tournaments today. Forever the king.
So I think I came out on top at 2 Game Crazy tournaments.
You probably
and then
did.
one at Midnight Madness. And I got I think it was Who Are You hoodie, like Nintendo hoodie.
Yeah. I see you got cool stuff.
I
Man.
love that
You got a
hoodie. And then
calendar.
I got I think it was the last tournament that I'd won. I got it was like a Donkey Konga or Donkey Kong Jungle Beat tripod chair or something.
Oh, yes.
Extremely
I
uncomfortable.
remember that. Oh
But I
my
would take it
gosh.
and then every time I went to Game Crazy, I'd take that with me.
I remember
So,
that. Man. Do you still have that?
I still have it, yeah.
Gosh, you don't
The
even
foot
like.
broke off of it though, so I can't really use
You don't
it.
even like Donkey Kong.
I really liked Donkey Konga, but that's another story.
Yeah, it's another game for another time.
So one thing that really stood out to me in all the tournaments that I played at Game Crazy was this match. I went up against this guy named Blake, one of Robbie's friends, and he was Falco and I was Fox, and must have been on the same wavelength. We were must have been like even footing or something because like every time we go to attack each other, we do the same attack and like miss each other. And so, like, when we use, like, our smash attacks and stuff, it looks like we were dancing and, like, this choreographed, like, just crazy battle. Like, we didn't actually hit each other. We were just, like, dancing around each other. And it looked like we had all just, like, playing this out and we're putting on a show for everybody. But there's, like, serious, like, end of the tournament match. And,
Yeah.
like, we couldn't hit each other for anything. We just, like, dancing about each other. It was so awesome. Like it became to the point where like it was less like nerve wracking and it was just more like hilarious and fun. We were just having a blast.
Yeah.
And that was like so much more than competitive. That was just being silly and just enjoying the heck out of it. And like I've never ever touched anything on like wave dashing or anything like that. Like I've never looked into it. Like it's never been something that I've been interested in because
Me either.
why would I need to do all of that stuff when I could just have fun, like just battling with friends and
Right.
just I didn't care who won. Like I was just so happy to be able to play with people. Like generally that was my thing. Like I can be competitive and I can get like upset if I lose, but like
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is not that place. Like I just enjoy it so much. And
You get
later, people have my friends have coined the term summoning the powers of emo, the dark powers of emo, where I was like, oh man, I'm losing, I'm doing terrible, and then I'd go into that next match and I'd do awesome.
Especially with Toon Link and Brawl. Oh my goodness. Like he would be down 4 stocks and
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to come back. Like
Oh, I remember that. Ryan summoning the power emo. That's why you were like, oh, I'm no
The
good.
secret's out.
I'm no good. Oh, okay. Now it all makes sense. Guys, I want to know, let's go around. What is everybody's favorite character to use in Smash Bros? Like your best character?
In Smash Bros. Melee.
Right, in Melee, correct. It could have changed over some other games. I know it has for me. Ryan?
You know, I picked up Fox. I'm going to give a couple of ones here. I picked up Fox really well. That was the one I finally settled on as my competitive like player.
Yeah.
But I tried to play my character from the original 64, which was Pikachu, and it just didn't quite feel right to me. Pikachu got launched really easily, and I couldn't pull off the moves very well. So I picked up Ice Climbers. I was really excited to see these new characters come, and like I played Ice Climbers as a kid, so like of course I'm really excited they're bringing in these characters from my childhood, and like I can play as them. And so actually like got pretty good at them, and I kind of hit a wall, and I couldn't go any further, and that's why I was kind of forced to switch over to a different character, and I picked Fox, and it just happened to click. So,
Yeah.
but I think Fox wins for competitive, but like just for having fun and just enjoying the character and the nostalgia, it would be definitely the Ice Climbers.
Bobby?
so like I mentioned, I was a Kirby main back in '64.
Yeah.
But Kirby did not hold up in Melee, in my opinion. It was really fun, like to play, like especially with like my brothers and stuff. I would bring out Kirby and stuff because he could do fun stuff, and he could, especially those like 4v4 tournaments and stuff. Like he would annoy people so much because hardly anyone was playing Kirby and stuff. So, but when it came down to it, like I said, I played Pichu also, but Pichu just wouldn't be competitive at all. Like, he was fun because my issue was the same with him. Like Pikachu did not feel the same as he did in '64. Pikachu was really good in '64. I felt Pikachu was like he just kind of felt more fat. Like this is way before the Pikachu remake, and he was probably at his fattest right there. Melee, but when it came down to it, like. I played to my strengths, and I have naturally fast reflex time, and it annoys people sometimes because I cannot be very good at a game, but just purely by my reflexes, I could do well. And so I became a Marth main, and like I have some legendary like counters and stuff, like frame perfect counters, and it was so much fun. Like because especially like when you go from playing a light character that gets knocked off very easily, going to Marth and then like countering those like see over moves and stuff and those smashes, and just watching like and the opponent thinks they got you on the ropes and you just counter at the right time and just they're gone. Like so, by far, Marth became one of my favorite characters. I played him. I never used the shield thing. That was one of my particular styles that people noticed was like. Why do you never shield? Like I just would run around and do crazy stuff and never shield. And that was one of my secret strategies. People, especially in the game crazy, community, like they got used to me not shielding. And so then I would suddenly shield out of nowhere and like throw them off. And it was just this mind game, like, and then there was just like, and then just catch them and just, they were gone. Like, and then, of course, back in my heyday was doing the be over combo with Marth and hitting that timing perfectly. Because that was when I felt like I actually became skilled at the game. Was like going from I have good reflexes, I can do these things and stuff, to going to being able to pull that off regularly.
Wow.
Oh man, I'll have to say I also played Marth. Yeah. When I was young. Okay. I don't know what it was that drew me in. I mean, it drew me into Fire Emblem, and I'm so happy it did that. But as a young kid, I played Marth. As I got older, it became House Rules. And my new character was random. And I learned every single one of them. And to this day, I can't say there's a strong character for me.
Really?
I have to go random.
That's so weird.
It's just...
But if you're ever in a random tournament, you got an edge.
I do. I definitely do. And I appreciate it because I learned all the fine little details of those characters.
That's true. Like you were playing with Peach before we had this, and like you were, in my mind, I'm thinking like, why are you playing with Peach, But I mean,
she's deadly.
You're pulling out some deadly moves there, like stuff. I never really played with Peach, so I didn't know I don't know all of her ins and outs per se. But you were pulling out some tough stuff there, and
those deadly turnips.
Yeah,
watch out for them.
I mean, you didn't beat me, so
you got lucky there with the Pokeball. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I threw a Pokeball, saved my life.
And that actually really is a good point about doing that is helps you play against the other characters because when you have played them, their in and outs, and so what they're capable of. Like, see, Peach was probably back in my heyday, my second character I would go to because people wouldn't expect Peach. People didn't think Peach was competitive and stuff, and they would get tired of hearing "Chow" all the time and stuff. And just, oh my goodness, and just hitting those frying pans was perfect fun.
Oh man.
Well, probably my favorite character to play as was Mewtwo, but my best character to play as was Falco. Yeah. So I just like Mewtwo and how he had all these techniques to mess with the enemy, and he had like confusion. He had a really good throw.
That was so cool.
He had a charge shot that was pretty cool. All his smash attacks were always deceptively long.
Yeah. He's OP. I mean, seriously, I don't feel like he's as good in Smash 4 as he used to be. But he was very fun to play with. I enjoyed playing him. And fun fact, how I unlocked him was like, I know Robbie, I didn't do what crazy Robbie did and stay up 24 hours, but I remember I got sick and I knew I was going to be home from school the next day because I was sick. So I just turned it on under my bed. The TV was under my bed, in the weird bed. And I just let it play, turned the TV off, and I went to bed and just played all evening, all night while I slept. And then I woke up when it was time and I got out, because that was one way you could do it, was just leave on 24 hours straight. And I just put them, I think it was like unlimited time to do basically. And just 4 players fighting. And then, boy, it was nerve-wracking when I exited out and I knew it was time to fight Mewtwo. And I can see it to this day and hear the sound and see him come up. And it's like, this is big stuff. This is legendary Pokemon. You have to unlock him. And, like, if you die, you have to wait another 24 hours like this. And that sucked. So
I was playing Pichu when Mewtwo appeared.
Wow.
I had to kill Mewtwo with Pichu.
Thank goodness. And did you win?
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Smash Bros. Because in real Pokemon, that would not happen. not a chance.
So that was like almost a mythical character, like to unlock, because like he was like the last thing that you could unlock.
Yeah.
Like as far as characters go, and like the idea of like Mewtwo being in there, like this legendary Pokemon, like you could play as him. That was like insane. Like it was almost unbelievable.
Pokemon was probably in its highest hype at that time because we were going from Kanto to Johto in the actual anime and the card game and the video games. Gold and Silver had just recently been released. The movies.
It was kind of an awkward time too because the Gold and Silver the Stadium 2 was on 64.
Yeah.
And so the GameCube was really the first Pokemon experience we had on the next generation. And, this is before third generation came out. They didn't come out until 2003, I think is when. Yeah, Ruby and Sapphire. So this was, a lot of people's first experience with Pokemon in that time.
My best characters, real quick, was I went on 64. It was Donkey Kong. I picked Donkey Kong, got really good, and again, we talked about last week. I just chose Donkey Kong all the time, probably because of my memories with Traven, and I got really good with him. And just like Ryan and just like you, Robbie, he just was not clicking for me in Melee, and I did not get good with him. And then Melee was the GameCube Melee, as when I credit. Because, this was the time when Rare had just gotten bought out and was no longer making games for Nintendo. So what filled that gap for me, for Rare, it became Zelda and Metroid. And Ryan really got me into those franchises. And that's Link took over. From there on, Link became my best character. I played with him tonight. I just connect with him. I remember being back then. It's funny we play it now. Like we just were talking about how the game feels off, like it feels like it's delayed, or they don't move when you try to do the move right. But back then,
it was responsive. That was like the fastest controls ever.
Yeah, I was like in sync with my character. We were like one. Like seriously, it was. I can't explain it. Like I really was just connected with Link. And even with other Smash Bros. Games, I've gotten really good with Toon Link. It's with Toon for Brawl, and on the latest one, I'm really good with Toon Link and regular Link. Probably a little better with Toon Link, but I don't feel like I've ever had a connection with a video game character the way I play with them than I did with Link in Melee back then. And he was who I trained with. He was my competitive player who I'd practiced with all the computer guys. And with Brad and I, we'd train together, like preparing for that tournament. I remember going to Brad's house and we would always he would be Marth, I was Link, and we put on 5 stock and we fought each other back and forth, head to toe, I think I probably played Brad more than I played anybody else on Melee. We would do that for hours on end. And it was so fun. It was just so fun. Who's going to win, And, so yeah, Link is probably my best character, even still today. I like Link and Toon Link too.
One thing, like, not only did this introduce Fire Emblem characters to the U.S., but there's some other things, like through trophies that we heard from, like Doshin the Giant. It's a really obscure game for GameCube. If you find it and it's not an obscenely priced game, get it, because it is a hard-to-find game. You saw some Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing hadn't come out yet to the GameCube.
Yeah, right.
So you saw Tom Nook, you saw Todakeke, which was KK Slider. And it was really cool to see these characters like, oh, this hasn't come out yet. What is this going to be like? You know, and it was really big advertising for Nintendo's future games.
It was. I think that was mind blowing for me as a kid to know that like the rumors, you know, on the playground and everything was like, dude, like these guys are only in Japan. Like, I hate Fire Emblem today with a passion. Everyone knows that. But back then, it was really cool that Marth and Roy, like, we had never seen these dudes. Like, these guys were known in Japan, but this is the first time they came to a Western audience, and I loved that. I thought that was really cool.
There's also, I think, Cubivore was something that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, I remember that.
They mentioned that one. And the method for unlocking trophies really bothered me because there was like a lottery, like you had like a gacha machine. And I had like 99.9%, and I couldn't get that one stupid trophy.
We used to just play to get coins so you could get that last trophy. I remember going to Starbucks with your portable TV and just playing at Starbucks. And oh my gosh, it took forever for you to get to that last one. Oh.
I had the same luck with Smash 4 on the 3DS. Like, I couldn't get that last trophy. It was driving me nuts. One thing interesting I found out, there was an unobtainable trophy in the U.S. It was a Tamagon. It was like this little dragon thing, and it was because it was a part of this game, like Devil World or something, where you had to like eat devils or demons or something. And so that never came. And then I heard that Japan got 2 event exclusive trophies, and I was really bummed when I found out about this. Like, really bummed, because you could get Mario and Yoshi, like the 2 of them hanging out together. But not only that, you could get Samus with the helmet off.
Oh, man.
It was like, that was so devastating to me. Like, I'm never going to get this, and I'm never going to see this. Thank goodness the internet exists now, and I can see what the trophy looks like. But like, seriously, the first time I saw the trophy was just today when I was looking up this stuff. Like, what does that finally look like? You know, I looked up and like, I really wish I had this as a kid. Like, I would have loved this so much. But no, never got that.
And that's interesting because that might have been a little bit of foreshadowing to what we got in later games, where we got Zero Suit Samus and stuff.
It's a long time coming. I mean, that was really the only exposure that we had to Samus was from Smash 64. Like, it skipped 64 completely. And then you had basically the Super Metroid model of Samus that was put onto Smash Brothers. And so, like, you didn't really have anything like that. So seeing a 3D model with Samus with the helmet off, this was before Prime even. So, so like, that was crazy. Like, to see that. And that was a time, like, where I really wanted to see what this trophy would have looked like, and I never got to see it as a kid. So it's a bit disappointing. But some of the things that they brought to the table that was new are the wireframes, of course. The fighting wireframes took the place of the fighting polygons. You had the sandbag to beat around.
The sandbag was so much fun.
I love the home run, even to this day. Like, all the home run stuff was so much fun. What was the combo that you would use? Like, was it Yoshi?
Yoshi.
The Smash,
For the home run
the
thing?
flutter thing? Yeah, was that?
Oh, yeah.
Flutter jump, the flutter kick. I think.
Yeah, and you just like try to launch the sandbag at the last second. We just kept trying to get further and further and further. There's like some rumors circulating around, like getting certain characters, like going certain distances.
Don't forget about Giga Bowser and Crazy.
Yep, exactly. They're on my list. Yep. Giga Bowser was like never before seen version of Bowser. He's like super souped up, and then like
Probably
secret boss,
Probably
basically.
the most intimidating Bowser, I think, even to this day.
Yeah.
That I've ever seen. I would love it if they actually incorporated that in a Mario game one day, like Giga Bowser form. That would be so scary.
That would be
Especially
really cool.
in like 1080. If we get to 4K one day with Nintendo, 4K Giga Bowser, like, I need a bottle to pee in or
You
something.
would still wet yourself. Yeah.
Thank goodness the Switch is portable.
And then you had like Crazy Hand, which was like, it was just a rumor. Like there was, there was, you know, another hand that was like even harder than the first one.
Yes.
And so like getting to that, unlocking him, like suddenly, like you realize what's going on, what does this sound like? You hear the evil laugh and you see him come in, like, what is this thing? Like, and it was so much harder, so much.
Well, you fought them both at the same time, right? Master Hand and Crazy Hand?
One of the events, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And that was actually one of the things I had an issue with. Is my original playthrough of the game, I never unlocked Mega Bowser, but I did get Crazy Hand, and like, so a lot of people would tell, like, "Hey, Giga Bowser." I'm like, I don't know, but have you guys heard about Crazy Hand? They're like, what's Crazy Hand? Like, I'm like,
funny.
well, isn't that what's supposed to happen? Like,
Well, I think the final event was you had to beat Master Hand, Crazy Hand, and Giga Bowser.
No, it was Master Hand, Crazy Hand, and then the other event, the very last event, was Giga Bowser. Was it Marth? It was one of the ones that he was a counter, I want to say. It was Ganondorf, Giga Bowser, and what was the other one? Was it Pikachu or?
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't. Yes.
What was the third one? I don't know why. Maybe it was
Mewtwo.
Mario or something.
It was Mewtwo.
Okay, Mewtwo. That makes sense. You had to fight all three of them in one match. Like there was rumors circulating about you playing Giga Bowser too.
But that
Like,
was
you did that.
freaking hard.
Yeah.
Like, that took
That
me
was so hard.
forever. Now, Traven, you probably beat it your first time, so.
I don't think it was my first time.
Now I will say, like,
That'd be cheap with Jigglypuff. I mean, Jigglypuff destroying Giga Bowser.
Yeah, I think
was.
that's how
I gotta say that
Okay, yeah.
although I have my favorite character in Fox and Ice Climbers, like I picked up, I played a lot with John Hester growing up, and he was always like, he liked Mewtwo for his fun character, but his serious character was Roy. And so, like, I took some leaps from his book, and I was using Roy to take down, like, Crazy Hand, Master Hand, take out the Giga Bowser fight, like, using the counter. Like, I'd use that like crazy, and you can get back to the edges by doing his dance and, like, getting, like, to recover. It was, like, crazy what you could do with that. And so, like, I just, like, hang on to the edge, do like some attacks, and like hang on the edge again, and and eventually you whittle him down, you beat him. But like that was my go-to was the counter for Roy. I really loved Roy, and even then, like he feels the same today. I think.
Can we say a small debate here that I was always in the camp that I liked Roy way more than Mark.
Yeah, I'm on Roy's side.
Funny thing was that's what it was back then. Everyone liked Roy. Like that was the main like. People like you're like, why are you playing Marth? Oh, he's so much better. He has the explosion and stuff.
Yeah, he was so cool with the fire.
So yeah, me and him are out of the kind of back then where the not cool kids. We're playing Marth, and even though Marth was considered like now tier list, he's like S tier. He's like the best character because he has the insane grab range and stuff. But yeah, back then I remember everyone was for Roy. That like Roy.
He was so much cooler. I liked playing with Roy. He was, and then it was really sad. It was crazy. That's why he got brought back as DLC for the latest one because they were like, "Where is Roy?" And he got left out of Brawl. So I'm glad he's back. I like Roy. Mm-hmm. Now we have way too many Fire Emblem characters.
Amen.
We need to eliminate some. So
Oh, come on, man.
Probably one of the Marths.
yeah, one of the Mars. Yes.
I do enjoy the scene a bit, but I feel like of the initial ones you got in the game before DLC and stuff, I feel like Lucina was like probably my more comfortable one to play.
Yeah.
But so let's get into some of the rumors that were circulating. Smash is all about secret characters you can unlock and secret like game modes and things like
the best.
So I'm gonna kick us off because I destroyed my hands doing one of them. I bought into the whole Sonic April Fool's thing. I got the magazine, whatever it was. I don't know if it was a Game Informer or Electronic Game Monthly or something like that. And it showed a picture of Sonic on the roster. And so it said, this is how you do it. And so you had to go into Cruel Melee and defeat I think it was 20 fighters.
Yes.
And I spent days and days and days trying to do this. Just going at it. I get to 19 and I die. And I get so frustrated, and I finally did it. And I went over. I think I got to 26 killed. And okay, surely I've unlocked it now. And I died, and nothing happened. And I was like, what have I done with my life?
You remember that rumor?
Yeah, I remember that rumor. I didn't really buy it for a second, but
it's funny when they announced Sonic in the newer games.
Yeah.
Those people were just like, well, fool me once.
That's something I think that Smash Brothers has lost with later iterations. Is that and truthfully, it's the sad state of the freaking internet.
Yes.
Everyone has to know every freaking character and level before the game comes out. And that's what I hate. Like, maybe they didn't intend for this, but back then, like, it was a surprise when, like, you discovered Mewtwo was in the game, or Pichu, or Roy and Marth. And, like, could you imagine just today if we had Smash Bros. For Wii U and you unlocked Mega Man, but you didn't know he was there until you really got to get into the game. Like, there wasn't that much on him. Like, the internet existed and people knew stuff, but it was not to the extent that it is today.
The rumor still exists. It kind of shifts to, even like with the Switch and the NX, when they were talking about it, like, the rumors come before the launch. So there was some rumors out there for arguing for Smash, like Smash 4 even, where they're like, oh, and Ridley's totally going to be in it. Like, there were some rumors, like, people like throwing that around. Like, they were like, people took some of them seriously. Some were like, nah, I've been burned, like, with Sonic. There was some rumors you could play Master Hand, play as Metal Mario in 64.
Is there a glitch? You can play as Master Hand?
Yes,
Master
I heard
Hands.
there was something you could do with that.
Yeah, well, there's a hack for Project
You hacked it.
64 and that you could play.
Yeah, so no, in Melee, there's a glitch you can do. You have to have another controller plugged in, and you can play as Master
Yeah,
Hand on
I've
that.
seen that online.
That was
Was
one
his
of the
moves
things-
mapped out like it would for Smash characters, or was it?
It was weird. Like, they said it was like awkward to try to play him and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but it was one of the things I thought that was cool because I never, there was certain rumors I never bought into, but someone had said back then that you could play as Master Hand. I was like, probably not. That would be kind of broken and stuff. But sure enough, like, through a glitch, people found a way to do it.
Yeah.
There were some rumors of Rayman. I think that was kind of right
Yeah.
along with the thing with Sonic. I think play as Toad, and they mentioned that because someone took the Toad sprite and one of the adventures in Melee and said, "Oh yeah, this is totally that you can play as Toad." And
Can I just say I never want to play as Toad in Melee?
unless it's a counter coming from Peach, yeah, I understand that. Of course, some of these were foreshadowed rumors, like Cell Shaded Link, Bowser Jr. We never got Tom Nook, but we did get the Villager. So
Yeah.
Mega Man, Geno. We saw Geno as a Mii costume. Leon S. Kennedy never happened, so Resident Evil. Sorry, it wasn't there. But they all had pretty nigh impossible unlock conditions.
Wow.
Like some things like beating one player on very hard with all characters in a specific order with only one life. They never said what the specific order was, but that was what it was.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, even now to this day, there's rumors. Like the rumor is, Smash is coming to the Switch. That is the big rumor right now.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, yeah, it's coming, and then like Reggie will tease something. It's like, yeah, it's you should ask me later about this or something like.
Yeah.
It's not like confirmed, but it's like dancing on. It's all stuff that's come to before the game comes out, and it's not something that happens during because all that time everything's spilled on it. Like it's
Sure.
a little sad, but it's nice to have that little bit of rumor stuff beforehand. But it's also not having to go through the challenge of trying to take down 20 cruel melee.
For Brawl, they had a whole website up, and they would update it like every couple of weeks. New characters, who's coming next, and like it just wasn't lost all its charm. And then, like, this is why I don't like the later ones. I don't like Melee's not my favorite because I think it's like the best ultimate competitive game. We've discussed that. Like, I don't play it to be the best top competitor in the world. I like Melee because it had the right amount of formula for everything. Like, it's so easy to unlock characters and levels now. Like, it's not a challenge. We just talked about what we had to do to get Mewtwo, and to unlock Sonic in Brawl, all you had to do is play through story mode, and you unlocked everybody. Like, how lame is that? Like, Sonic shows up to fight, and then now he's on the roster. Like, there was no reward for getting the characters. And I think that is something that Smash Bros. Today lacks. There's no reward. Even with the 3DS and Wii U version, there's no reward for that or levels. And the levels that's one other topic. Whole other topic of why I don't like Smash 4. But that's things that it's missing that I think Melee did really well.
If you're not into the collectathon and you just want to play with the characters, like that's a huge miss for them. Like, okay, I already have these characters, so I don't really have a drive to play.
Right.
For me, like I had to get all the trophies, but I won't do that for the Wii U version. One, it's not portable, so like I don't get as much time on TV. So like my Smash on Wii U has no hardly any playtime on it, but like I played the heck out of my DS one. Like 3DS, got all the trophies, and I've got that's where I did all my DLC stuff and everything. Like I had to have everything there. So like, and that's another thing. Like you bring up the point of DLC, and should they do that? Like you pay for characters instead of having like unlock conditions. Like, would you pay for unlock conditions to unlock gain next to these characters? Like, is that something that you would do? Like, even though if you were for DLC, let's say.
No, I mean, if I paid $5 for it, I want now.
Yeah, okay, I understand that, but does that completely take away from the spirit of Smash? And like,
I think it does.
having a finite set of characters in Smash and that's it. Like, do you think that is a miss because then you can't get the characters you want to see in there, or like new characters to play with? But you lose. You kind of have to give on one and lose on the other.
I would rather there be no DLC for Smash Bros. I think it's like stuff like Mii costumes. Bobby Paul's talking about it in his latest episode today. Actually, I was listening to of the PlayStation Nintendo podcast. Him and Toby, that like, why should I have to pay for Mii costumes? Like something like that little should just be in the game.
Yeah.
And if they take their time, they don't rush the game. Like they can get a full good roster in there of full-fledged characters. I want K. Rool in the next Smash Brothers, please. Like, it'll be. I think it's so much more fun to have to earn these characters and not pay you $15 to get a new character.
Well, to counter that point, though, the development costs are rising for video games. I'm not a huge fan of DLC. I got burned by Destiny, like as a lot of people did.
Yes.
Like so. But development costs are rising. So I would like to see a medium ground of where, hey, we have these characters unlocking, or because these characters are in the game. Or you can maybe pay up front and get those characters unlocked. Both are in the game. You can either unlock them for free by doing the crazy, ridiculous stuff, or people who don't want to invest that time can pay for them and get them like that.
I think that does speak to the spirit of Smash and like Melee. Like you could like play through the story mode and unlock stuff, or you could actually put the time in multiplayer and unlock these characters. Like there was an alternate way to unlock them.
Yeah, there's
two
ways.
So to have an alternate way, like you can pay for it and get it up front if you wanted to, or if you actually want to jump through the hoops and become skilled at and doing things like. I can tell you how much better I got at the game for doing the cool Melee thing. Like even though I hated that, like
absolutely,
that was something like I think if they do that, that would be the way to go with it.
The game taught you how to. You're right. That's a great point, Ron. The game taught you how to self-train yourself to naturally just get better, because you're not going to unlock Ness if you can't beat adventure mode on hard level with 3 lives without dying. Like you just had to get good.
I have to interject here. Speaking of working hard and getting better, this game is a rite of passage in more than one way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to branch off to a quick story. Where I lived in college, we had a house, Christian through the school, a bunch of guys lived there. There were challenges for new people to join the house. One of them was a Smash challenge.
Oh, nice.
We had someone that was so good, and the challenge was 3 against 10.
Oh,
if they could beat them, then they could pass this challenge and be accepted in the house. You had to be good at Smash to earn that rite of passage.
Wow.
It was great.
That'd be tough. That'd be a challenge I wish I could have taken on. That sounds fun.
Before we close out, I did want to mention something that Nintendo Power gave us. I don't know how many of us got it, or I know a lot of you have probably heard it from me. But there was a disc released, orchestral version of Smash Brothers music. Smashing Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like,
you burnt me a copy of that.
I have it in my computer now, but I gotta say, like, I don't know. I think some of that stuff is corrupted now. I gotta find my disc and put that in, but it's so scratched out by now because I played it in everything. I took it out.
It was so
put
cool.
it in so many different players. Like, I love just hearing all the different instruments playing my favorite Smash stuff. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, I would wake up to it every morning in high school. Like, no joke. Like, that would be in my CD player.
It was my first CD to ever, because you burnt me a copy, that I ever had of video game music. Like, it was so cool that I could listen to this in my CD player. I even remember, because I was in 6th grade. I had just started band for the first time. I was playing trumpet. Brad and I was in the band. He used to play trumpet. Then switched to French horn. But I remember giving my band teacher, Mr. Stadler, I let him borrow my CD because it was all instruments what we were playing, and he listened to the whole thing and he enjoyed it. It was just so cool that you could play Mario Brothers on the trumpet. Like at this time, my world of music was, I wasn't in a band yet. I was just being introduced to bands and this kind of style of music, and I really loved it, dude.
I had a similar experience with my piano teacher in high school, and we had to bring in a piece of music that was in 3/4, I believe, and they had to be orchestral, had to be or no lyrics to it because of school and stuff and rules.
Uh-huh.
So I got an A on that assignment because they brought that in, and they also borrowed it. They're like, "Yeah, can I borrow this and stuff?" Which I had gotten from Ryan as well and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, that was one of the huge selling points on Melee and stuff was the music, and they very much capitalized that on the later games. And
Totally.
stuff, one of the just best things. I have to say, one last thing before we go. If Lloyd is not in.
Oh gosh.
Because I said this on the Tales of Symphonia episode.
I second this. Everything he says is backed by me. So go ahead.
Lloyd is not in the next Smash Brothers. We riot.
No, I'm not talking like a me costume. No.
No.
A dedicated character for Lloyd.
Same with K. Rool.
You know, they're both going to get new costumes.
If Sakurai is in control, they will get me
I
costumes.
will help you program. I will do the legwork.
Oh, no. We will get more Fire Emblem characters, probably. Unfortunately.
Hey, come on now. I love Fire Emblem.
Let's just make Fire Emblem fighting, and then they don't have to be back in Smash Bros. Anymore.
They're going to throw Lloyd in there, but it's going to be a carbon copy of a Fire Emblem character.
It's just going to be Lloyd with the sword, and he has all the same moves as Mark.
Overall, Melee really did a great job with the adventure mode, adding in a longer one-player mode and the classic mode that you had from the original one. They brought back, land on the break the targets, land on the platforms, race to the finish. Like that stuff was so fun in Smash Bros. And that's another thing that the later editions don't do. They took away all that.
Because they added in Melee, but they didn't take anything away. That was the thing. The later games, they add stuff, but they take away things. And it's like, why not? I know there's issues and stuff, but just add all of it, please.
That's why I don't like the new ones. I don't have any incentive to play by myself anymore.
In Brawl, you had the Subspace Emissary. That's cool. They added something. But then they took away the stuff that we really enjoyed.
And it made you better.
And I wish it would have just been able to build and build and build. And now it's split between two games where the DS has Smash Run, which is kind of like Subspace Emissary, kind of. You have a lot of different characters from different genre or different Nintendo games and things guest starring in it as enemies. But you don't really get that whole experience like you do where when they got to Melee, they built on the first one, and it really felt like it was in every way an improvement, and it never took anything away from us. And that's something that I really miss from Smash Brothers, and I think it's one thing that keeps the Smash Brothers of late becoming great, truly great.
Hopefully they can fix all that. I guess I think it'd be fun before we end off. Why don't we just say one character that we want? I know Robbie, you want Roy. I want K. Rool. I want to hear from Ryan.
Lloyd.
I'm sorry, Lloyd. Yeah, Roy's already it. I want to hear what Ryan, Brad, and Traven have one character that they want in the next Smash Bros. Has to be there. Brad, we'll start with you, man.
Oh, you can't start with me. There's too much to think of. Come on.
Got to pick on the newbie.
I can speak about Lloyd for some time so he can have some time to think.
We can come back to you if you got to think.
You're going to have to.
How about you, Traven? Who do you want in the next Smash Bros?
Well, since Ridley seems all but impossible due to a whole list of excuses that Sakurai has come up with, I don't think it's asking too much for Dark Samus to be in the next Smash.
I agree.
Yeah,
I've always thought she'd be a great contribution.
Especially with a Prime 4 coming out. That would be a good time. And
you think they'll really bring Dark Samus back for Prime 4? And she's supposed to be dead, finally.
I don't know. See, all they've shown so far in Smash 4, I don't want to get, or on Metroid 4, is that the Phazon mist, with the behind the symbol. So it might have something to do with that. We might see her again.
We could. And
Or
if they-
X, I
Federation,
guess.
Federation Force implies that Silex is coming back.
Well, yeah, Silex. has
Yeah,
been two endings now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Silex is in the next Smash Bros. If, you know what I mean?
No, please, if you're gonna do Silex, please bring Trace too, because Trace is my favorite hunter.
Now, let's not get greedy, right?
no, but that's not my character. Okay,
Who's
I
your
digress.
character?
I'm gonna have to go with Lloyd. Like he was who I voted for when they had the survey or whatever. Like vote for any character. Lloyd was my pick from Tales of Symphonia.
Oh, yeah.
Like I could just see him working better than anything else, and I've always been on that bandwagon with Robbie.
Oh yeah, and they could definitely probably if they got couple characters like we could do Kratos or Colette. I could see like Colette, especially as a range like.
Yeah.
There's your
like
Colette's
a shotgun.
character.
Yeah.
Trick character.
Yes, the trick character.
Yeah. Well, Brad, you've had time to think.
Oh my goodness, I just can't come up with. I mean,
I'll give you your character.
You want
Yeah.
another Fire Emblem
No, you
character.
I can't say another.
Here's your
Fire
char- here's your
Emblem. I've
character.
got enough of those.
Outside of K. Rool, it's something who I want. I'm pretty sure Brad would agree with this. And it's just that I think since we had Cloud in the last Smash Bros., I think that showed us that anything is possible. And I dream of a day when Banjo-Kazooie finally comes to Smash Bros.
I could see that.
That would be pretty sweet.
Well,
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Rare just dies and
What would-
decides to get rid of
Well,
the
Phil Spencer said he would love Banjo-Kazooie was in Smash Bros. He said
Yeah,
he
I mean,
loved
like if they had enough money, if they got paid enough,
it. I'm sure.
they'd do anything with enough money.
But Cloud was in the no one ever thought Cloud never was on a Nintendo
Yeah,
system.
anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
But imagine this: Banjo Kazooie and ukulele in the same Smash.
That would be awesome.
They would be
Oh,
palette swaps
yeah.
probably or similar.
That'd be
I don't think with
Yeah.
the stunt ukulele playing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's
too
pro-
receptive.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's not get Jacob off.
Did you hear about the news today?
Yes, there was news. Ignore it.
Oh, we got another half hour of the show, guys.
Back to the news, part two.
All right, Ryan. Well, let's wrap this up, dude. This is a good episode.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining in on this roundtable discussion, or rectangle table, as it is. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed having you, and you brought a lot to the table here, and hope to have you on soon. You can find us on Dayspace. You can find us on iTunes and Google Play. Check us out on our Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoNOS, on our Twitter, @Nintendo_NOS, at our Gmail, if you want to shoot us an email, NintendoNostalgiaIN@gmail.com. You can find us on our Instagram, NintendoNOSIN, and you can call us on our Nintendo Nostalgia hotline, 317-969-5690.
Save it to your phones, guys. That's gold. So yeah, and you can find me at NoshJacob73 on Twitter there.
You can find me at Metroid Hunter. Do you guys want to give out your...
You can find me at Stoic_hero on Twitter.
I'm pretty much non-existent everywhere. Sorry, guys.
Brad and
I
Trey.
am.
Yeah.
social media ghosts?
I
Yep.
don't have any social media account, so you can find me at my job.
But you got, I know, Brad, we're still working on him, but Draven, you're on the Switch, so you got a Goombest is the way to go by, correct?
Yeah.
If you're ever playing with the Nuts guys and see Goombase on there, that would be him.
That would be Draven, especially if he's kicking your butt. So, well, guys,
Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you later.
have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
Adios.
Sayonara.